had a very fun debate with a very close friend of mine. And what started out as just a friendly conversation ended up into a strong debate. And that's because I let slip out of my mouth the fact that I felt relationships at its core is spiritual. And surely, she pounced. Man, she brought up pornography, how men degrade women, how women allow themselves to be degraded. She brought up men with men, women with women. She brought up strip clubs and all kinds of stuff that are really horrible in our society. She brought up the church and how adultery, incest, infidelity, lust is commonplace, just like in society. And so she had a hard time connecting relationships with spirituality. And when I had a chance to talk, I was able to explain my position. I looked at 3 things quickly that I want to share right now. And that is attraction. That in and of itself is God breathed. Why can 2 people look at the same person, one be turned on, one be turned off? Why is it that we find ourselves and people find themselves in bad situations but can't get out of it because they just overcome by how they feel? Why is it that we knowingly pursue things that are not good for us, but we have this little fire inside of us that's making us or propelling us to go in directions that we shouldn't? You see, those things cannot be explained. It's just given to us. That's just what we have. And when God created us, He made us to want to be in relationship. That's why we gave us the ability to be attracted. But He also warns us, and people don't understand this, and that is, He says, the heart is deceitful above all things and desperately wicked. Who can know it? Well, He didn't just leave that as the only thing we had. He gave us a second thing, and that is the mind to reason, to think, to analyze, to study. And He tells us in His Word as well, test all things, hold fast to that which is good. Yes, He said that in the context of studying His Word, and I'm not going into a real Christian, biblical thing here, but it's also at the very core of our relationships. When He created us male and female, He also wanted us to utilize our mind to reason. And that's why we can't let our hearts overrule our minds. We have to allow reason to be a big part of the combination or the equation when we think about relationships. And the third thing He gave us was the ability to choose. And that's very important because He knows at the very core of who we are, we would make bad choices at times. He knew that. But He gave us the ability to choose and to continue to do the same thing. If we make a bad decision, we can undo that decision and make other choices. He did not confine us to once you make a choice, you're stuck with it forever. That's the beauty of God. That's the beauty of how He created us. That's why at the very core, I feel, relationships are spiritual. It's only when we get those 3 things working together, attraction, desire, reason, thinking, choosing, choices, is when we have all those things working together that we can have what God intended us to have. And that's a beautiful, wholesome relationship. And that's why at the very core of relationships is spiritual. Whether we utilize the spirituality that we have to make it positive or whether we ignore it and allow it to go horribly. That's what Couples Corner is all about. That's what we're trying to do, is to help people understand that. Not make choices for them, but to help them understand themselves and give them the tools to work on themselves to make that connection positive. This is William with Couples Corner. And I just wanted to share that with you in hopes that you would work with us and allow us to help you find your way.